As Chinese troops advanced, British Prime Minister Clement Attlee came to Washington for an emergency meeting with President Truman between December 4th and December 8th, 1950. The meetings were to coordinate a joint Anglo-American strategy in South Korea.
President Truman heads a group of high government officials welcoming Prime Minister Clement Attlee of England as he arrives in Washington for a series of talks with the chief executive. The two heads of state will attempt to arrive at a solution in the struggle against communism. The threat to Europe, as well as the Far East, will form the basis of their discussions, and Mr. Attlee makes a brief statement on the subject.
My aim in these talks is to align our policies in the new and troubled situation in the world and to find the means of upholding what we both know to be right.
While talks on the diplomatic level are in progress between the Prime Minister and the President, United Nations troops are obliged to fall back on all fronts in the face of attacks by Chinese Reds, estimated to number 500,000. Tanks cover the retreat and shelter soldiers pinned down by enemy fire. Already casualties among American members of the UN forces have risen to beyond the 30,000 mark. Bitter winter weather, as well as an enemy which outnumbers them more than 3 to 1, have taken their toll. Most of the wounded are evacuated by air to Japanese hospitals as quickly as possible. Meantime, the retreat continues steadily as the Red Hordes pour across the Manchurian border, and another estimated 500,000 remain poised on the frontier. Department of Defense and newsreel pictures show graphically the suffering undergone by 1st Cavalry soldiers taken prisoner by the North Koreans and later released by the Chinese Reds. These are Americans who have dedicated themselves to the United Nations fight for freedom. In the midst of a terrific storm in the Sea of Japan off Korea, the plane carrier Philippine Sea is refueled by a mother tanker. Steaming north in the teeth of a bitter Siberian gale, the job of provisioning and supplying ammunition to the giant carrier is also completed under the most adverse weather conditions. These are Department of Defense pictures. Blinding snow hits the flight deck, where planes are always on the alert for launching at a moment's notice, despite high seas and stormy winds. Fighters and bombers aboard the Philippine Sea are tucked in, but can be untucked fast for appointed missions. Snow can't down this crew. They fight it.